We have to make sure of your ability to tolerate the stress and regulate your emotions, especially your anger.
I'm great at controlling my anger. I do it all the time. When I'm catcalled in the street, when incompetent men explain my own area of expertise to me, I do it pretty much every day, because if I don't, I will get called emotional or difficult, or I might just literally get murdered.
I got low. I didn't see an end, so I put a bullet in my mouth and the other guy spit it out.
Clint, where's Nat?
When I had the gauntlet, the stones, I really tried to bring her back. I miss him, man.
Me too. Or might just literally get murdered. So I'm an expert at controlling my anger because I do it infinitely more than you.
Puny woman.
What's going on, everyone? Jeremy here from the Quartering, and there is no set. There is no basement left. But I thought one last jobber, one last meme here at the incredible cringe that She-Hulk ended up being. I don't know if I could actually endure. Here's what is on the other side of the screen if you're watching. It's the basement's completely empty. But the show must go on, and She-Hulk was on last night, and Mother of God. You know, this tweet, you know, Lofty, by the way, editor, sorry, I'm a little dark, but I don't have any studio lights anymore. Probably had one of his, you know, first viral tweets in a while. Hulk, the woman I love died saving the planet, and I wasn't there to protect her. She-Hulk, I get catcalled sometimes. That's like literally the dialogue. You could see it here. And then like this tweet with 90,000 likes. Hashtag She-Hulk might be genuinely the first time some young men hear a woman speak candidly about experiences like this. It might not seem like it, but that's hugely important. This must be some really, you know, serious stuff, right? Here's She-Hulk talking down to, you know, the Incredible Hulk, because she's just better in every conceivable way. I'm great at controlling my anger. Yeah, by the way, Bruce had to spend years trying to control it for fear he would damage and like hurt people around him. But yeah, go on, Slay Queen. I do it all the time when I'm catcalled in the street. Like, you know that they wrote that line in the show and they were like, yeah! When incompetent men explain my own area of expertise to me, mansplaining. I do it pretty much every day, because if I don't, I'll get called emotional or difficult, or I might just get literally murdered. So I'm an expert at controlling my anger because I do it infinitely more than you, she said to Hulk. The Incredible Hulk, who for I don't know, the last 10 years, up until only recently, was Hulk more able to control his actual anger. It's one of the most disrespectful, ridiculous lines that I could have ever imagined happening. And the people are speaking. This has been, the audience score has been going down pretty consistently. The critic score has settled down about 86%. I think it'll be like an 82 or an 83 show for critics. But this, the audience score, with only like 2,000 reviews, is now down to a 66. It was 67 just a little bit before. I imagine it will probably finish up in the low 60s. And, you know, when you look at, this show is a low 60s show, quite frankly. It's really, I don't know if that's all that, I don't know if they want to be anything more than that. Like, I gotta be honest. I mean, and look, I fully admit this show isn't for everyone, and it's not really for me. The eye-rolling kind of like cringe jokes, they don't really offend me. I know that they're not like, I suppose if I was some young like slay queen or some 30-year-old, 40-year-old wine mom, I think that they were hilarious. In particular, I think this show is written by women for women who have victimhood complexes. That's what I think. The idea that, you know, they suffer more than all the rest of us, and you know, and ultimately men could never really know, you know, what it's like to suffer the slings and arrows of womanhood. You know, there's a lot of stuff, but like there's this weird wire work that's like unimaginably cringe looking. You also have this give She-Hulk a chance, and you look at her shelf. There's a thing of Ruth Bader Ginsburg, Michelle Obama, I assume. I'm not arguing. I'm just explaining why I'm right sign. Where's the live, laugh, love one? I mean, like, I assume these books also, like, I mean, like, what? Here's a reply, by the way. Even libs have to admit this is cringe. It's like they're just trying way too hard. No way this is real. It is. You know, I think that most people that watched it will say something along the lines is like, you know, it wasn't that bad. I mean, it has some cringe, like, mansplaining. I wish that they could do this without being so on the nose. You know what I mean? Like, why can't you have a message without being so cringe about it? Like, the fact that She-Hulk is lecturing Hulk about how she is so much better at containing her anger than he is absurd. The fact that there's like a plot point about Chris Evans, whether or not he slept with anybody is, or not Chris Evans, Captain America, is ridiculous and cringe. Then, I don't know how much of this I can play, but like, there's this courtroom battle scene where they throw like a desk, which is fine, and then she throws it back like a javelin for some reason. And then like, if you're watching this weird like flying kick that would have in reality zero power behind it, like none, it wouldn't even hurt, and the wire work is like cringe. And then like She-Hulk just like blasts her into the wall, and then she puts on her loafers or whatever, and so she's like, oh, I'm ready for my closing arguments. Also, why does her hair straighten when she becomes She-Hulk and it's still curly while she's her normal character? Is that a thing? Why does the hair change? Like, it changes color and it's not curly anymore. That's weird. Like, it's totally different here than it would be. Is it because they're like, well, we want it to look like She-Hulk when she's She-Hulk? Maybe that's from the comic book lore. I don't know. It's not like I raced to the comic book shop to buy She-Hulk comics when I was young. And there's even longer. This isn't even like, bench is picked up between cuts. She gets it out from under it between cuts. The punch lands between cuts. Jesus, why is it presented as okay? Like, they don't even show her actually doing any of this stuff. Like, the punch comes and then there's a cut. You don't see any of it. Like, is it just cheaper to edit that way? I don't get it. And this is the same studio that made WandaVision and Loki, right? Like, everyone's just, it's getting destroyed. And like, I guess that there are like some copes and like some weird copes. I don't think the show is the worst thing Disney's ever done. And it's definitely not the worst thing Marvel's ever done. So, you know, I think there's that. But like, holy moly guacamole, is it bad? You see, She-Hulk attorney at law misses what makes Jennifer Walters great. Even the Daily Beast hated it. In Marvel's latest TV series, becoming Hulk means you're big, green, and tell bad jokes. I mean, when the Daily, and this is from Esquire, but like the Daily Beast even roasted it. There's a lot of one star, one episode in, and this is an hour of my life I will never get back. Guys, I've seen better CGI on a Commodore 64. This is lazy writing. It could have been a great series. The comic and the original character is pretty good, so I gave it a look. It's like they grabbed a Sex and the City character and gave her a bad green CGI and a bad script. 2 stars, it's just bad. Another show telling you men are bad. I'm over it. Next, 1/2 of a star. Do I really need to say anything? I cannot believe this is the same studio that made Phase 1 through 3. 1 episode in, and what do we have? We've got She-Hulk origin story that is juvenile at best. She has none of the issues Hulk had, and no explanation is given. She describes being catcalled and talked down to as more of a problem than issues David Banner had, basically saying her experience as a woman made it so she has no bad guy. The fight scene at the end was hilariously bad. I mean, I see where the show is going, but the origin story, episode 1, could have been better. If this is the level of writing we're going to get, this show won't last another season. Oh no, I don't think that this show's going away, my friends. They want She-Hulk to be in the MCU for a long time. I promise you that. We'll have to see how this plays out. It's just 1 episode, but it's not off to a start. Last day to support the channel with promo code HATERS at coffeebrandcoffee.com. Try some of our delicious options. We have a K-Cup pre-order going on right now, but those are going out in mid-September. We've got 5 flavors of coffee, including 6 and 7, a decaf and a double caffeinated, which just started shipping this week. 3 hot cocos, cold brew bags, which are selling like hotcakes. Our Roaster's Choice program is opened up for 6 more people. If that's still open, make sure you get in on that. The K-Cup pre-orders are here. We've got 6 organic teas. I would love for you to pick this week to help support us, especially since I have to take Saturday and Sunday off too. I hope you enjoyed this video. We'll talk to you again real soon.